Have you ever noticed something strange about airplanes? Almost every airplane window is round. Not square, not rectangular, round. And this isn't just for design. In fact, this tiny detail has saved thousands of lives. Because years ago, airplane windows used to be square, until something terrifying started happening. High-altitude travel changed the rules of physics forever. The problem wasn't the material, it was the shape. Sharp corners were hiding a deadly secret. Back in the 1950s, many airplanes had square windows. At first, everything seemed fine. But as planes started flying higher and faster, engineers discovered a deadly problem. Airplanes experience massive pressure changes. Inside the cabin, air pressure stays comfortable for passengers. It's like being at a much lower altitude. But outside, the air becomes extremely thin. The difference between inside and outside pressure creates massive tension. This creates intense stress on the aircraft's body, and the sharp corners of square windows became dangerous weak points. Pressure concentrated heavily at the corners. It's a basic principle of engineering. Stress loves sharp angles. Tiny cracks started forming there, and over time, those cracks spread, weakening the entire structure. Then came disaster. In the early days of commercial jet travel, several airplanes suddenly broke apart mid-air. Investigators were shocked. The cause wasn't the engines, it wasn't the wings or the fuel tanks. It was the windows, specifically the sharp corners. The evidence pointed to metal fatigue starting at the window frames. Engineers discovered that square windows concentrated stress in one small area 3 times more than a curved shape. The pressure became so intense, the metal eventually failed. It was like bending a paperclip over and over until it snaps. The fuselage would decompress explosively. Aviation had to evolve, or commercial flight would remain too dangerous. Round windows solved the problem. Why? Because circles distribute pressure evenly around their entire perimeter. There are no sharp corners for stress to build up. The force spreads smoothly around the entire shape. That makes round windows much stronger, much safer, and much more resistant to cracking during the life of the plane. That's why modern airplanes still use rounded windows today. Even tiny curves in the corners make a huge difference. Even square-ish windows like those on the Dreamliner have carefully rounded corners to manage that stress. Modern airplane windows are also built with multiple layers. Most passenger windows have 3 separate panes. The outer pane takes the main pressure. The middle pane is a backup, and the inner pane protects the others. The tiny hole at the bottom of the window? That's called a bleed hole. It helps regulate pressure between the layers. It prevents fogging and reduces stress on the inner pane by balancing the moisture and air pressure. Every part of the window is carefully engineered for safety, from the chemical composition to the smallest vent. So the next time you sit beside an airplane window, remember, that simple round shape isn't just design, it's engineering. A small detail created from deadly lessons that now helps millions of people fly safely every single day. The next time you fly, take a second to thank the curves. Stay safe and stay curious.